So I went to the park for a little Sunday workout, and I was there for about 30 minutes when the guy that works at the park was saying that he was about to close everything down and that you wouldn't be able to get out the parking lot if you that's where you were parked. So I hurry up and I got changed and everything, and it took maybe about 5 minutes, but that wasn't fast enough because by the time I put all my stuff on and walked to the gate, it was already closed. And so you would think no big deal and shit, but there's literally no way for you to get to the parking lot unless the gates are open, unless you're at the top of the gate. And the gate separating the park from the parking lot is just this big black like wall. Metal wall is nothing but it's just one of those bar gates. And those things are like nearly impossible to climb over unless you're like the man, but I am not, so I didn't even attempt. But luckily for me, to the right of there was some chain link fences, and that you can hop over, and then you can throw your stuff over onto a bench, and then hop over it, and then throw the stuff back over to the other side, and then hop over that, maybe one or two benches down. So that's exactly what I did. And the first one I climbed correctly, but the second one I did it lazy because I was kind of tired, and I ended up putting a hole in these pair of sweats. And these are my favorite pair of sweats. And holy crap, I cannot find the hole. That's what she said. But yeah, I ended up putting a hole in my favorite pair of sweats. And that pretty much ruined the night. But then it gets better. Well, it kind of gets better from there. So I'm sitting there, I'm analyzing the situation because I just got done freaking out before. But I calmed down some after I hopped the gate. And I checked both of the entrances, and there's only two ways. There's one way into the park and one way out of the park, and they both have the same kind of door that swings open, like swings open like that. So all you have to do is just put a lock on it, and then nothing will be able to get in or get out unless it was small. And my car is definitely not small. But so I was sitting up there. I was like, how the hell am I gonna get out? Because I knew I was gonna get out one way or another. It was just, how was I going to do it without injuring my car? And I refer to my car as a person because I love Sid dearly. But there were like 4 iron posts and a little indentation to get in on top of the sidewalk for like handicapped people and stuff like that. And there were like 4 poles. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there was a 5th one off to the side, creating like a little gap. And so I angled it just perfectly so that all I had to do was drive straight through it, and I got out to make sure that I wouldn't like hit anything, and then that everything would be fine. But then I also had to run to see if I could get out, get from off the sidewalk to be on the ground without driving over a curb, and it looked like I didn't have any other choice, but except to go off the curb and ruin my suspension. But I mean, hell, I wasn't trying to be stuck at the park all night. So what I did, I drove it straight through, and once I was about like maybe a half a second before I drove off the cliff, I looked to my left, and I saw that there you can actually drive the rest of the sidewalk and then get to the driveway from the exit to the exit of the park. So I drove on the sidewalk and drove straight out, and it was just pretty awesome. And so after I drove off and I was back on the street, I literally pulled over for 5 and just sat there for 5 minutes. And I was just like, I am the man. That was like one of the coolest things I think I ever done. Just to think myself out of that situation without injuring my car and then getting away with it, everything perfectly fine. So, I mean, I thought it was just random. I shouldn't have been put in that situation anyway. But, I mean, there was no harm, no foul. So, I can't really complain. And I ended up getting a pretty awesome story out of it. So, yeah, what can you do? But it doesn't matter. I'm happy. No, not about my sweats. I'm still pretty pissed off about it. But, anyway, thanks for listening.